Oh, class.
Welcome to a really early episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales. And today I am so excited to have on a 33-year-old from Cardiff, Wales. His hockey journey has taken him to Wales, England, Scotland, the USA, Australia, and he is in Czechia right now. He is a legend of Cardiff, Wales, and is set to drop the puck at his testimonial this summer and have the time of his life at his hockey wedding that he's earned. But folks, he just may be a bigger legend with Team Great Britain, my favorite squad. In 2009, folks, in the Under-18 World Championships, he had a gold medal, was the best forward, the most goals, the most apples, the most points in the tournament, and also slipped in a U20 silver that same year. But the next year, he won the gold in the U20s. Since then, he helped write the Disney movie, winning gold and vaulting GB to Pool A, and scored the goal in GB hockey history, scoring the OT winner against France to keep Great Britain in the A pool. And they are about to compete with the world's best again. And I guess they already have, because I wrote this last week. Welcome to the shed, Ben Davies.
Hey, thanks for having me. That was
Hey,
a hell of an intro.
well, it's early. I was stumbling there at the start, man. My bad.
No, that's good. No, I appreciate you getting up. Obviously, the time difference is massive right now for the two of us in this. So,
Well, it
uh,
always is, bud. That's actually kind of how it works at the shed, though, is you guys are always ahead of me in life.
yeah, yeah, no kidding, no kidding.
So, I did jot down a few notes, and then we got busy the end of last week, and you guys were just about to play Canada. That happened. You guys really did her that game. I watched it.
Yeah, yeah,
That was an
it was a
early
weird
morning
one. It
too,
was,
dude.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, seeing that we're playing those first up as well is a challenge. But yeah, we done really well.
No kid.
I think all of us stepping off that ice at the end. Obviously, the end of the first I think might have been 1-1. We had a goal disallowed as well, and yeah, we were giving them as good as we could.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
was
it was
cool to
fun.
see, dude.
Obviously, it's a 12-20 game. The last two games have been 12-20, which is quite early for us. We don't play a lot of games that time.
No,
So
so it's just up and have breakfast and then go play, eh?
basically, yeah, you're having breakfast. I try and have breakfast a little bit earlier, and then yeah, straight to the rink, and we're straight into it.
Well, just so you guys know, because everybody knows my favorite team's Team GB, and because I do have the swag, right? It's like
Oh, nice,
it's like I'm
nice.
on the team over here.
Representing.
Yeah, thanks, Richie. But during that game, man, I had a handful of messages from people over there saying how proud they were, you guys. Just,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was lots of the boys got some really positive messages after that game. Like,
positive
yeah,
messages are
even
better than the opposite.
yeah, no kidding, no kidding. Even like I think a few of their like coaching staff or whatever have made some comments to us around the hotel and stuff. So it's nice to get that appreciation a little bit. Like we obviously
Yeah,
worked hard and we try to keep the game close and we had some good chances. I obviously you said you watched the game and
I
the
did.
boys had a power play, I think, in the second period maybe. And they couldn't get the puck out of the zone. It was kind of cool
You
to
get
watch. And
it
I
was
think it
cool
was
to watch.
well.
They had guys stuck out there for like 3 minutes. They
I
couldn't get
know, I
off.
know. I know. We just needed a bounce the other way, and yeah,
Yeah.
it could have been. Who knows what would have happened? But yeah, it was cool to share the ice with some of those boys, and yeah,
Well,
every team over here has got
and
good
what's
players.
cool for me, a broken man out in my shed that used to play hockey, seeing all the guys I used to muck it up with go out there and hang in there with Team Canada. It's like, so are you saying I could hang in there with them? That's
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I say we're just going out and we're representing basically the whole league, and
Yeah, you are.
yeah, trying to do our best. So
No, and it was really cool for me to see all the shed guys out there mucking it up on TSN. I mean, I was proud. I'm a hockey player.
yeah,
I used to be, and I was proud of you guys because it was cool. But there's guys on your squad that I've never seen play hockey, which I thought was funny. I sponsored Critch last season. I don't know if you noticed a Two L's and Hockey Tails logo on the back of his
yeah,
jersey,
yeah, yeah.
but I had never seen him play hockey. I finally
No,
did.
that's class.
Yeah, and he can muck it up. He's a player, and I
Yeah.
stand by sponsoring him. Fenner, I got more money coming, but I'm almost paid up, I hope. But Prague, I've been there. We got some
Yeah.
Walton history in the shed in Prague. That is where I proposed to my wife on
Oh,
that
no way.
bridge, Charles Bridge there. Yeah. With
Okay, I'll make sure I check it out.
yeah, it was
It's
so.
it seems like a beautiful city.
Oh, it is, man. And if you do get any time off, I I may have checked it out because it was. I'm not much of a museum guy, but this
Yeah.
one really, I don't know, it intrigued me. I just wanted to see what it was about. You got while you're there, check, ask around, find where it is. You got to check out the Sex Museum.
Oh yeah.
It's something, man. There's some interesting artifacts in there.
Really? Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have some time to do that. I'm not sure, but
You
yeah,
guys are busy, eh?
yeah, it is. It's just game after game. We got a day. We got a few like 3 days, but obviously they're taking up practicing and what. So we do have like the subway right here, so it's not that far to get into town and get some time together. And my family, my dad and my sister are coming in a few days' time, so I get some time with them as well, and hopefully check out some of the sites. The weather's been great over here right now, so
Well, Prague is a
yeah.
city, man. That is one of the coolest
You
cities I've been to.
or what's happening there?
Oh dear, what? You can't hear me?
Yeah, that was my fault though. Were
Oh,
you do you know when you proposed? Were you over here playing?
yeah. I was playing. It was it my first year over there in Landshut, Germany, and we got the November break and went to Prague on the November break.
Oh, nice. That's the good thing around here, isn't it? Like
Oh,
loads of places are quite drivable.
drivable, and like every country that is like within driving distance is like totally different.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
weird.
so different. Yeah,
Canada,
that's
you can
it.
drive a long way and not much changes.
That's the fun part about playing in Europe, though, isn't it? Like
Well,
experiencing
man,
some of those
this
places.
to see all that stuff that like I would have never seen from Elmira, Ontario. I would have
Yeah,
never got to see anything in Europe. I would have never gone to Germany probably in my life, and I got to live there for 6 years.
yeah,
Yeah, and you
class.
see a lot of stuff when you get November breaks, and then when I first went over there, you got a February break too. That was my
Mm,
favorite times of the season: playoffs and the breaks to get to go do
yeah.
stuff.
Until you got to the Elite League, and then you didn't have the breaks
No
anymore.
breaks, just muck it up.
Yeah, just games.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see here. So your testimonials coming up too, man. So you play a lot of hockey. Like I always remembered when our elite league season would end and all the GB boys would be so pumped to go play more hockey. And I'm like, man, I'm done.
Yeah, it is. It's I guess like playing with the national team, you kind of get not used to it, but you know at the end of the club season,
It's
you've
the
got a
start of
few
it.
more weeks at least of national team. Obviously, you've got the camp to start and then the tournament. Obviously, since we've been in the top division, it's even longer. I think all in all, by the time I get back home, I'll be gone a month.
Yeah.
So that's hard on Al and obviously the family right now looking after the baby and the dog and everything. But yeah, they've
But
been great with that. But it is like it comes to the end of the season and all the boys got a new not a new lease of life, but you're just looking forward to again together with all the national team boys and
oh yeah.
want to do our job with the country. Yeah.
No, and man, I it's weird for me, and people probably wonder why I'd be cheered for Team Great Britain over Canada, but it's like you guys are all my buddies. I don't know anybody on Canada, and they ask some guys to go and they say no, and it's like, how can you not want to play for your country? You're a hockey
Yeah.
player.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different mentality like that, I guess. Like no one's really saying no to GB.
Right. But
Um,
that's what's cool when Tavares and guys like that are showing up that are older fellows and are still saying, hey, I want to play.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. He didn't play the game against us. I think he'd only just got into the country maybe,
Yeah.
but I saw him kicking around yesterday, and I think he played the game yesterday, so
But you guys
he's
did play against
around.
Connor Bedard. That must have been neat, eh? He's quite good at hockey.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was fun playing against him, and like some of those big boys, the defenders, they were not easy to get in the forecheck on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Obviously being there and sharing the ice with some of those boys and trying to rough it up. But
Yeah. Well, we could talk about a lot of stuff, but we do have a time crunch, folks. People are busy. Um, you're having a testimonial. And two of my favorite days ever being a hockey player was going back for testimonials. You must be juiced right up because they are
yeah,
so fun.
yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm like super proud to be able to have one with Cardiff. Like I
Yeah,
played
That's your
Uh,
hometown.
yeah, exactly. It's cool. Like I, I I'm excited to bring guys back that I haven't seen for a long time, and some old players that I grew up playing with. Guys like Joey Lewis that's played in Germany for a ton of years. Him, his brother. Yeah, there's some good guys. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. June 1st.
June 1st. So
Yeah.
how are you doing it? Are you, I saw some team announcements and I saw the Swan is back in Cardiff. Gleason Fournier is going to play in it too, eh? So how
Yeah.
are you doing it? You got 4 teams?
No, I was toying with making 4 teams. We're just gonna go with the 2 teams, I believe.
Yeah,
Um,
just a game like Batchy had.
yeah, a bit more like batchy. Obviously, I did like the Mizey setup. I was toying with like maybe making it like a 4-on-4 as well. But no, I think we're just probably gonna stick with the 2 teams of however many.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that
we're
man,
gonna do
I'm
a draft the
excited
night
for you,
before.
dude. Have fun. You think you'll hit Chippy Lane after the match? I'm sure some of the boys
Yeah,
will.
that's it. That's what I'm trying to make it a fun night for everyone that's not played for a little while. A bit of a reunion for guys. I'd like to try and invite some of my old junior buddies that I used to play with. We all grew up together. We always were pretty close. So I'm gonna hopefully try and get some of those down so they can kind of we can all catch up like a few of
And
our
enjoy
old
it
coaches.
together. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I don't.
But to earn a
It's,
testimonial of 10 years in Cardiff, there's a lot of guys and a lot of teammates, even before you ever laced up for Cardiff, that would be a big part of how you end up making it. Right? I always say it takes everybody to win, and everybody along your path helps you out, right?
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong there. Absolutely. Like I played before you came to Cardiff, I played I think 7 seasons and I was young for some of those, like bouncing around playing hockey and in school and what have you. And some of those boys were great with me growing up and teaching me the ropes really. I live close to Phil Hill. I don't know if you know Phil Hill,
I
so
know Phil. Yeah.
we used to share lifts like
Yeah.
to the rink and that and guys like Max Beerbrier, Mac Faulkner,
Mhm.
um he was great. Him, Marshy, Blighter, they were great when I went over and visited in Canada and he put me up before a season. So yeah, it's guys like that and guys like Merv Priest and Steve Maria. Merv was a junior coach of ours when we were he was probably playing a few years before I made the Devils. So he's an older guy, but he still kicks around Cardiff. So I'm excited to have him back and yeah, it's
You know,
gonna be a lot of fun.
it'd be awesome, man. Yeah, like getting to be a part of Batchies and Mizey's. Like I never played with you. I guess like we've never played together. I do
No, I
recall,
know.
I do recall after I retired, and I sometimes I get defensive over guys I like, and when I see them play hockey and I like them. Do you remember when I tweeted? I had just retired. I moved back here. I'm at my cottage. And I saw something about how you didn't have a contract next year. And I tweeted out, I said, he's one of the best GB players in the league. Why would he not have a contract or something? And then that thing really got some traction. I was just having your back because I've seen you play,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I remember you've again like we hadn't played together, but I remember you sending some tweets out being a big supporter of mine. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Well,
And I
I know
think
who can play when I play hockey.
yeah, absolutely. But I think that might have been the year that I was maybe going out and trying in North America. Uh,
Right. Yeah,
I don't know for sure, but I think it might have been because I kind of
well, you
held
had been
out.
with the clan and my boys, and I always loved those games, the clan against the Devils in 14-15. Those were about as intense as hockey matches got when you got Fitzy out there and Frank the Tank and the boys, eh?
Yeah, no, both good teams. Like obviously we were in a different division, so we didn't play you guys a ton, I don't think.
No, we
But
didn't.
yeah, in Braehead we were lucky. We had a really good team that year, or those 2 years.
Yeah, you did.
So I remember
Bunch of
we
shed guys too.
yeah we used to battle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was fun hockey. I really enjoyed that. So what I think's neat though, small world is Team Canada's goal is scored by Paul Henderson, and he's from Lucknow, Ontario. They got like a big painting of him on the building when you drive into town, and they got his name up in the arena. And he scored the big goal for Canada, and like whenever that was. I don't want to sound like I'm stupid, but I think it was the 772 maybe against the Russians. But anyways, you scored like that goal for Team Great Britain, and I was watching then too. That was a big
Yeah.
moment, eh? When you scored the OT winner against France to stay up in Pool A.
Yeah, that was kind of like looking back now, it was obviously some great memories, and it was weird just after the game, just kind of sitting down and thinking, like,
We just
I'm not
did
sure
that.
I'm ever going to score a bigger, but yeah, one, yeah, couldn't believe it. Obviously, two, we stayed up, which was our goal for the whole team and the whole tournament,
Yeah.
and three, it was just like, yeah, it was a bit of disbelief.
Um,
It was just knowing that it was maybe going to be the biggest goal I've ever scored.
yeah.
Like it means the most.
Well, and like
So
I in my career, I don't have one of those. Like I don't recall a goal that was like that's the biggest one I ever scored. I couldn't pick one at all, and that one definitely would be.
yeah,
That was your first time in Pool A, and nobody really knows how you stack up, right? Nobody really knows until you get there. And then when you
exactly.
get there and you can compete with everybody, and then you beat France in overtime, and you're like, haha, we're staying.
Yeah, and they were a lot further up their world rankings than us that year. So it was a big feat for us to do, and we were playing again. Like I remember, obviously it was our first year in the top division, so we didn't really know what to expect. We're going into the first game, we're playing like Dreisaitl and Germany, and then like, we played Canada and Denmark and kind of got beaten quite convincingly. And then we're playing like US, and they were stacked with like superstars.
Yeah.
So they had like Patrick Kane, Eichel, Fox, they Gaudreau. They were like loaded. So that was like maybe one of the most fun games I've ever played. And we were
Yeah.
like going back and forth with them. Like it was 1-1 again for a little while. We had some good scoring chances. So that was a fun game. And then, yeah, obviously it comes down to that game at the end, and we're 3-0 down, and we're thinking, oh, like
Oh
this,
yeah, you
this
guys
is,
are down 3-0, eh?
yeah, yeah, we
Right.
were. So, and it just,
It's a
it just
Disney movie,
spiraled.
folks.
It just, yeah, you said that at the start, it made me laugh. But it just spiraled from there, and we got one, got two, got three, and then from there, and Bouncy makes some unreal saves in OT, and yeah, we get the goal, so it was unbelievable.
And it was you and old Twinkle Toes, Jono, eh?
Mm. Yeah, it was cool. So like obviously John is Welsh as well, and then you got Richie and Bouncy were on the ice as well, and they're both massive Cardiff connections. They'd be Welsh if they could.
Right.
Like they wish they,
Boundsy's hard to understand, but
yeah, both of those wish they were Welsh. But yeah, it was really cool to have like the four of us on the ice as well.
oh yeah.
Obviously, yeah, like John makes an unbelievable play and just puts me out in front on a plate for me. So yeah, I'm
Well,
just glad I could put that away. And yeah,
no
it was
kidding.
some really cool pictures, videos, memories from that
That
day. And
lasts a lifetime.
yeah, absolutely. Like the one thing that was kind of a little bit not gutting, it was just like my parents were over for a few days
Yeah.
with, I believe, just my mum, dad, and maybe my little sister. They came over and they had to go back. So they left before that game that day. So they were over for maybe 2 or 3 games, left the morning of the France game, and then they flew back. So they were watching it, like by the time they got back to Cardiff, they were watching it on delay.
Yeah.
So I couldn't speak to them for like a few hours until they'd watched it.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't ruin it for them.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was very hard, not just like I'm trying to ring them and just see like,
Well,
can you
you
believe
guys
what
were
just
playing
happened?
Canada there, and my son's been bugging me to skate since our season ended, and we haven't. And there was ice time that morning that was open, so I left for the third period, and I was like, "Did they replay the game, right? Like I can watch third period like I don't know what happened, right?
Yeah,
Because it's not fun just seeing the score and not getting to like see how it went, you know? Because then
yeah.
then someone did show me that you guys ended up winning the third period and scoring because it was 4-1 and ended 4-2, and I was like, holy moly, they really did her today.
Yeah, yeah, it was like a really respectable scoreline. Like you say, we won the third period, so
Yeah,
that's something to take from that game.
I agree. We
Yeah,
got a lot to talk about though, because so when I come over to the UK, you are with Glasgow. So I always found it interesting around the UK league is like Bouncy's from Sheffield and he's a Devil, and you're in Glasgow, and I'm like looking at this trying to figure it out. I'm like, why don't people just play in their hometowns? But like, I guess it is a business, right? And coaches change and managers change, and like it isn't always that easy for the guys just because you're from that town to stay there your whole career, right?
No, it isn't, and some of it comes from timing, luck, opportunities. Like, as you know, there's a lot of different factors. But
Yeah.
myself, like I played for Cardiff, like straight from school. I was working my way in. Sometimes just playing when there was injuries or opportunities, and yeah, trying to take my chance when it came. And then I was with the Devils for 7 years before we had a tough season, and it was kind of the right time for me to kind of leave, and an opportunity came up to go to Glasgow. I thought that was a good opportunity for me at the time, so I leave, and then obviously later on that summer is when the new owners, Steve King and Brian
Yeah.
and all that,
Right.
they take over, and obviously the rest is history with Cardiff, and
Yeah. They really
Cardiff's in
turned things
yeah,
around there. And
absolutely, yeah, like Cardiff couldn't be in a better situation right now, so that's
yeah,
good, and
it is
yeah, that's why
amazing
I
to
was
see.
away.
It's amazing to see like Cardiff nowadays compared to like when I roll into the big blue tent, you know? It's like
Yeah,
whole
it is.
different thing going on.
Yeah, that's it. It's just different eras. Like obviously Cardiff has that era when they were in town where you probably like know as John Lewis.
Yeah. Right
And
by
then obviously,
Chippy Lane, that must have been a time.
yeah, I know that was before my time. I was just junior then, so I didn't see that side of things. But
Right.
yeah. So that, and then you got the big blue tent, and that was kind of the years I was with the Devils.
Yeah.
First of all, and obviously now they're in a permanent home, and yeah, like Todd and the team do a good job of making that place rocking.
So I guess we may as well bring up the last time I was at Chippy Lane. That was with your head coach of the Cardiff Devils and Team Great Britain. It was late at night or early in the morning, whatever you want to call it, but it was me, Pete, and Franny mucking it up on Chippy Lane, and I really respect that coach that he stayed up all night for Batchy. He was there when I got to the arena helping any way he could. Then he stayed up the whole time with all the boys, and he was just becoming the new Devils coach. And for him to have it Batchy's back like that and stay up all night and stay with the boys and be a part of the whole thing as the coach, I really appreciated that as a hockey guy, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think at that point, I'm sure he's probably just been announced today.
Pretty
Um,
much. Yeah.
yeah, I would imagine. And yeah, he was obviously in Cardiff. Like you say, he lives in Swindon, so not too far away. But it's good of him to come over and spend time with everyone and really integrate himself into
So
Cardiff. And
how
well,
much does he coach differently? Because obviously he's your coach for both teams. Is it basically the same systems that he's preaching both places?
yeah, yeah. For the most part, the system's the same.
Yeah. So that'd be
And
easier for
obviously,
you guys in Cardiff.
it is. It is. We've kind of got a step up, really, like a leg up the Cardiff boys
Yeah.
in GB. So yeah, it is a tough system sometimes to grasp, and then obviously takes a few weeks, maybe the first few weeks while we were in Cardiff for some of those boys to really like click. But once we did, yeah, the system is really good. We're always defensively sound and
Yeah.
create some good offense. So I'm a big fan of the system.
Well, I think it's neat that like I know Batchy is always right there on making Team Great Britain or not. And he hadn't really played for Pete that often. And then when Pete sees him for a whole season in Cardiff, Wales, now he's on Team Great Britain. And I saw how much he was using them on the PK against Canada. And it's like, yeah, that's a big body that can skate and muck it up. And I mean, it's pretty neat for me to see Batchy back on the squad. And then the coach that had him all year sees what he's bringing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're lucky he's not in the room right now, and
Oh,
we're
is
not
he your
talking about
roommate?
it, 'cause it wouldn't be so positive then. But no,
I'd be chirping him that. He'd have
yeah,
to
I
put his
know.
earmuffs on.
No, he's gone out to catch some sun, but he's got to be careful because he needs a sun cream on him. But no, obviously he's one of my closest hockey friends. But Batchy's, I think he's a great player. He's like you say, defensively sound, big body. Like you can't move. Like it's tough to play against him. He can move the puck. He can skate.
Yeah.
Um, and he's always in the right positions. I think when it comes to the kill.
I
he's
agree.
taken the sticks. And
I feel like
yeah,
he's still getting better. When I was watching him just play the other day, I'm like, man, you're still getting better. And some guys stop getting better when, like, there's the guys that were awesome in junior and whatever, and then they get to pro and they're all these highly touted guys, and you're like, well, I don't really think they're that good. And other guys keep getting better and better. And it's not the same guys that were the best when you're low 20s that are the best when you're in your 30s, right?
yeah, it's sometimes the guys that are doing the little things and just paying attention to some of those things and know what makes them the player that they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think knowing your role sometimes, yeah, absolutely. So like you know as well, you've seen Batchy and he's been a forward
Yeah.
sometimes and he can do a job forward as well. I've been on and he's had a hat trick. He scored a hat trick in Coventry the one year, I remember.
Well,
So
man, coaches need guys that can move anywhere in the lineup and play forward or D, whatever the team needs. And
yeah,
yeah, it's good stuff. You know, this has been a
yeah.
long time coming. I remember when I first asked you to come to the shed was that Matthew Myers testimonial. You live right around the corner from him, eh?
Yeah. Oh, Joe Myers. We live around the corner from Joe, his brother. I don't know if you know Joe.
Yeah, I know Joe. I was
Yeah.
there for that weekend. We were having a time.
Yeah. So Joe and Batchy live right next door pretty much to each other, and I'm just like a few minutes walk down the estate. But
Nice little honey
yeah,
hole you guys have there, all you hockey guys all in the same little area.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice for Batchy and I through the season as well, like catching lifts to and from
Yeah.
practice. It kind of helps both of us out, and obviously we've both had newborns over the last year or so, so we've been kind of picking each other's brains with stuff like that as well.
Well,
So
those testimonials, man, they that like Matthew bringing me back for his and flying me back for it, and then I meet all you guys like actually in person on that weekend, and like they had the Team Great Britain team, and then you get to know all those guys, and like now I'm the biggest Team Great Britain fan ever, you know?
yeah. Well, that's what that's what it should be a little bit. I think obviously it's a celebration of someone's career, the testimonial, but I think yeah, for the players sometimes selfishly it's nice like catching up with everyone. And like
Oh
you say,
yeah.
people that you've played against and you've not had chance to like have a drink with or whatever after the game, you're going up and catching up with people and hearing their stories and uh,
It's as hockey as it gets when you get a whole bunch of hockey guys back for a weekend, and it's not as competitive as usual, and you don't have to hate each other, and you can just have fun.
yeah, absolutely. Like you and I, we didn't really like know each other too much. Maybe a passing conversation here and there,
Yeah.
but obviously we get to go out after the game and catch up properly. So
And
yeah,
sometimes before the game at Batchy's, we went to that
yeah,
flight club thing, right?
yeah. That's it. That's it. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of like obviously Batchy had as well like a draft night the evening before, and then you guys can go out and kind of make a whole weekend of it. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think
the
it's fun.
draft night really got away from a few boys. It was a long afternoon.
No, I'm planning. I'm going to be doing the same. So on the Friday evening before, we're going to be doing a draft and a get together at the rink.
That
So we're
sounds
going to be
fun.
announcing that this week, and then
Well, if it's
yeah,
sunny out that afternoon, just don't be judged any of the boys when they show up at the draft because
no,
we all
that,
participated.
no, that's good. Hopefully, we can get some nice weather anyway.
Oh,
So
oh yeah,
that's what we
you
want.
guys are gonna have fun.
That'll be good.
You played in Australia, so you went to was it the 2 years of Glasgow, and then you ended up going to Australia after that?
Uh, I don't know. No, I was in Guildford. I was in
Okay,
Guildford when
that's right, because the guy you
I
went
went.
with, Brett Ferguson, he looks like he's the captain there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So Fergie and I had the opportunity to go to Melbourne. So we kind of jumped at that. It kind of happened quite quickly. Maybe end of February, early March time, we kind of agreed to do that. And like Al kind of was in an opportunity where she could kind of get time off or leave her job and go out there. And we bit the bullet and honestly we fell in love with the place. We thought it was unreal out there. Like
Did you
yeah,
eat kangaroo?
I don't think we did. I probably would have if I had the opportunity to, but I don't remember that really.
Most people that
Um,
played in Australia, I've asked them, and most did eat it, and I think that's weird.
well,
They're so cute.
yeah, yeah, they are. You don't see. We didn't see a ton of like we were in the winter and down in Melbourne at the time, so we didn't see a ton. But obviously, when we went up north or whatever, I do recall seeing a few around. But yeah, so obviously we had the opportunity to go out there. Like the organization were great. The hockey was good. Like I loved it.
You lit
And
it up too. That's fun.
yeah, we just traveled. We the club were good with us, like traveling around and seeing some places. So we did that. Like we went to Bali for a week. We went up to North Australia for a week and met a school friend of mine and his partner. So we spent some time there, and then we went to New Zealand. And yeah, like
Lived
I
it
still
up.
I got friends for
Yeah.
life from Melbourne. Maybe get back there sometime, but hoping to. And we're actually going back this summer and getting married in Northern Australia.
Really? That's a long
Yeah,
flight to get married.
it is, and with a 15-year-old, so 15-month-old, shall I say?
Right.
But yeah, so we're biting a bullet mid-June, and we're getting married end of June out there. So
So there can't be that many people coming to your wedding if you're making them go all the way to Australia.
no, 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 we're kind of eloping. We're going out there and make it like having a wedding and a honeymoon kind of all in one, and then maybe later on in the summer we'll have a get together in Cardiff for family and friends and stuff. But
Well, that's cool.
yeah, it's just my two
That's
friends out
exciting
there and my
stuff.
cousins. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
You got a busy
We're
World
excited.
Championships, testimonial, rip to Australia, get hitched. You got a busy time ahead of you, eh?
Yeah, my partner and I we've been busy for a little while. Yeah, obviously the baby takes up some time and the dog and stuff as well. So it's
Wow.
been a lot of fun, but yeah, balancing a few bits.
The memory it brings back for me was like when I went to Cardiff, my son was really like Richie's. But like Colby was the only kid like really around the room that first year. Like he'd come in the room after wins and muck it up with the boys. And
Really?
and like all the guys like really took a shine to Colby, and it meant the world to me that like they actually showed interest in him, would play with him, play hockey with them in the room, do whatever. And then when I went to that flight club and we were playing darts, and like I remember the guys like put your son's name up as your name, and they were taking the same shine to your kid like they did for mine. And that's the shit in hockey that you remember forever, you know?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong there. Absolutely. Yes. Towards the end of the season, brought him into the changing room once or twice, like when he started to start crawling and walking and whatever. And yeah, it's a wicked feeling that, and like bringing him out on the ice. Like
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch him grow up. Hopefully, I can play for a number of years still, and watch him kind of grow up, like you say, like with around your son. He'd come into the room or we'd be messing around, and it's definitely been that type of atmosphere around Cardiff, and that's a good thing.
Oh
You
yeah.
want to be able to make it a proper community for people. I know Brody Reed, his sons used to come into the dressing room and mess around, and it was great. So
Oh, it's the best, man. Yeah, having your kids around the room and being a part of it is awesome.
yeah, I actually can't wait for that. Like he's ripping around now and walking around everywhere. He did have a hockey stick. He had one of those floor hockey sticks.
Yeah.
And he'd be like from an early age, actually, he was quite good, and he'd be like knocking that around. But he's put it somewhere in the house, and we cannot find it.
That's just when I was in Denmark. My teammate bought Colby a mini hockey set for his would have been his second birthday, maybe, or first. And that little blue plastic stick. Every picture we have of him in Denmark, in Cardiff, when he goes on the ice, every single picture he's holding that blue stick, and
That's class, isn't it?
he still has it, and it's
I,
yeah, it's cool.
it's a story from when he got it, like you say, of like in Denmark and that.
Yeah, and
But,
then like every picture that we have of him when he's a toddler, he's holding that blue stick. It's hilarious.
and now he's playing hockey, and yeah,
Well, that's why I have a red
uh,
hat. Him and his buddies, his brothers for life, won me this red hat. We are all Ontario champions this year.
no way.
Yeah, we won
Oh, well, tell
every
him
single
congrats. That's
playoff
class.
game. Yeah, we went 16-0 in the playoffs, and in the regular season we lost one game. We had a pretty good year.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And that was
Oh,
after losing our first two exhibition games 7-1 and 3-1. Then we got into the real games and just never lost.
no way. That's class.
It was so much fun, dude. Coaching
Yeah,
kids is wild. Yeah.
yeah. I can imagine you just watch it like living through him a little bit on the ice, and
Well,
that's
when you
class.
retire, then you like don't have a team and you don't have your boys around anymore, and you go through like your depression stuff, and like you're detached from it all. And then when you get a team again and you get to like joke around with guys, chirp guys, but then also try and turn them into hockey guys and like care about each other and be a team. And then you see them do it and win a championship, and you're like, oh my God, this is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like you say, like your son there, he's got like friends for life, and they're growing up together and going
And
through
they're in the
things.
same town. It's like you win in Cardiff, and then the end of the season, you all scatter around the world.
It is, yeah. But I still keep in touch with a lot of like our junior team when we were growing up. We were fortunate enough to like have a really good team. We'd be going to nationals and playing the likes of Batchy and stuff, who was like in Chelmsford at the time. And yeah, we all grew up together, and we were always good friends, or like at parties or wherever out in the street playing hockey. Yeah, and
And that's what I
yeah,
tried to tell
those are
my
memories.
kids. It's like, you guys aren't just a team at the rink. You guys are a team at school. You're a team around the community. You guys are a team all the time, and you have each other's backs all the time. It's not just at the rink.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something they learn, I suppose.
Well, you gotta tell them, right?
Yeah,
But playing hockey as a professional, and I know we have the support of our gals when we were doing it, but like I was doing the NBA when Colby was a toddler and we had our second, and it is different playing hockey when you have children, right? Like before children, you just have naps, you just sleep all night, and you just get ready and do what you need to do. Then all of a sudden, there's something shitting and crying and pissing everywhere. You're trying to get ready for the game. They don't sleep, you know?
yeah. No, it's a different challenge, definitely. Like we've been lucky with him sleeping. He's pretty good at sleeping, but I gotta be honest, Al, my like fiance, she's been getting up most nights with him, so I've been able to like sleep
Yeah.
through, unless she wakes me up, which doesn't happen much, to be fair.
I,
I'm
I
I'm
I
a
was the
I'm a
same.
good
My wife
sleeper.
ate it too for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like in the mornings or the afternoons when I'm back from practice, yeah, like I'm not napping. We're going out and we got the dog, so we're putting the harness on and taking him for a walk and getting out and about. And I think we've been quite outdoorsy the last few years. So yeah, we kind of like that, and hopefully he starts to enjoy that too. And but yeah, it's a different challenge. You're not getting that free time to do what you need to do, and
Yeah.
it's a balancing act. So
I,
I don't know.
you're bringing back memories for me, dude. Because when I was in Cardiff, my pastime would be to recruit teammates to come to the playgrounds with me. I'd have
Yeah,
pigs, I'd have salts. Hendo would come, Carl, and we'd go for like a walk with the kids, and then with the kids would be at the playground. And every once in a while, we'd like get a beer and walk around with a beer. And then
yeah.
I remember Carl Hudson. Colby had a little Nerf gun. It was a little Nerf gun. It was a legit Nerf gun that I had bought for one of my pregame speeches. And
Yeah.
Carl puts bread out for these pigeons, and then he gets Colby hiding behind a bush. And when the pigeons would come to eat the bread, Carl and Colby would shoot the pigeons with a Nerf gun. It was so funny. If you ever walk around Cardiff, bring a Nerf gun, some bread, and shoot some pigeons.
Using some bait. Yeah, that's some great
Carl was
like
using bait. I don't
memories
know if
though.
that's allowed, but it was funny.
Yeah. It's some good memories, I bet, like that.
Oh man,
Hanging out
it,
with him.
it really is. Then, you start the real world. You don't really have time to just mess around like that.
No, no, I know. That's why with Batchy's son Harrison growing up, like as soon as like he's gonna be walking soon, and then
It's
we
cool
get
you guys
out
are
and
all
we go
doing
to
this
like those
together,
play
right?
centers, and yeah, it is. It's nice that like the kids are roughly the same age. I think there's maybe like 6 months between them, and
Yeah.
there's a few kids around Cardiff, so yeah, it's nice. We can get out and about and like socialize and let the kids hopefully grow up together and get on and stuff. So
Oh, I agree. And Bouncy's going too. That's what's neat about that Ollie Hampson making that documentary. Like for me, it makes me sad seeing it because it brings back my memories of playing, and I don't get to do that no more. But that documentary they made on your team this year, that's a great keepsake, right? Like all the different behind the scenes is that you guys can have that forever.
yeah, yeah, you're not wrong there. Like I think Todd and Ollie and everyone that was involved in that done a great job, and um, yeah, it does. It gives everyone a different perspective on the year and some of the struggles and some of the ups and downs, and
Yeah.
yeah, obviously this year had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and yeah, just a lot of talking points. So it is good to be able to see that month by month and just experience things. And
Well, and like
yeah,
for me, I don't know what the fans see when they watch it. You know, I'm not a fan. I don't know what they're seeing, but when you guys would lose a game and you see how hard the players take it, you see how hard they tried, you see that the look in their face when they're sitting in the locker room after losing a game. Nobody wants to lose a game. Every pro hockey player went out there and gave it everything they could to try and win the game. That's their job, and that's what they've done their whole life. And when fans are mean because you lose a game, it's like, you think we're not madder than you? Like, shut up.
yeah, it's difficult. In the league, you're going out and you need to win every game. Really, you need
Yeah,
to you can't really afford to be losing games here and there. And obviously, you're not at your best every night. It's kind of impossible to be when you play. I think we played like over 80 games this season, maybe,
that's
and
enough.
yeah, it's a lot of games. So there's some nights, obviously, some guys are on and some guys maybe not so much, but it's just a balancing act there. And sometimes it does go against us. Like the one that sticks out maybe a little bit is that when we played Glasgow at home in the second leg of the Challenge Cup.
Oh yeah,
Obviously, that's a big game, and we kind of didn't play a good game that then, and I don't think. And
right.
it's probably on that documentary, and yeah, and at that point, it's just one or two games, and you're out of the cup, and then you've only got two other cups to battle for, and we're
Yeah.
trying to put Sheffield down all year, and Sheffield, tip your hat to them, they were a solid team this year. So
Well, when you're playing a regular season for the championship and you only get to play them so many times, it's like, well, if they don't lose to anybody else, what are you going to do? You know,
mm,
they
yeah,
won a lot of hockey games. They're like the Kincardine Canucks around here.
they were solid. So we
Yeah.
we 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 were we had a good year too. I think, but obviously we weren't up to the level that they were consistency wise. But I think when we played them night in night out, we actually battled against them a lot. So yeah, it's a shame we couldn't play them in the last game of the year, but obviously it wasn't to be.
Nah, I hear you. You guys did have to play in a third place game though, eh? Were the
Yeah,
were the
yeah,
boys
we
in one?
did.
Did you have a late
Uh,
night before,
no,
eh?
because by the time we'd finished that semi-final game, it's late and we were
Mm,
up as a quick turnaround. So it
right.
was uh it was just kind of taking the loss and try and enjoy a few moments with each other, kind of, and then we're
Yeah.
back to the rink for that third and fourth place, and then it was just yeah, like recap on the year after that is kind of get back to Cardiff and kind of
Yeah.
catch up with each other. We had a day or two before everyone started shooting off and going their separate ways and whatever. So
It's a
yeah,
bizarre
it
time,
happens
man.
quick at the end of the
It's
year.
it happens quick at the end of the year. You see each other every day, all season long. You're brothers, and then the season just ends. And I mean, they're not going to have everybody back. It's like I've said, I've never seen the same hockey team twice ever in any league anywhere ever. So there will be changes, and like sometimes you play with a guy, and then you have your night or two, and the season's over, and then you never see each other again.
Yeah, that's the reality sometimes, and it's yeah, it's different to probably a lot of other jobs.
That's why you
I'm
need a shed to stay in contact with everybody, right?
exactly.
Yeah. But this is an interesting time of the year around the EIHL because teams are starting to announce the new players, the returning players, and this is when all the stuff's either it's probably already gone down and people just haven't found out yet. But man, it's a wild time this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like obviously rumors flying around, and it is. It's an interesting time. I think it's sometimes fun on maybe the social medias and seeing what people's perspectives are with some stuff and what their opinions. I don't know, but yeah, like obviously everyone's different and everyone wants their team to look out one way and rather than the other, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's a fun time of year for obviously the teams. They get to announce if they're announcing everyone together or if they're gonna just
Yeah.
put one announcement out every week or whatever. So
And then
it's a guessing game.
when you know stuff in your shed and you're not allowed to say anything, it's like, man, are we gonna announce this stuff so I could talk about it?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
But we're at the World Championships here. We're in Prague. So you guys play Wednesday. Is that against Denmark?
Yeah, I think it might be Switzerland. I think we're playing Switzerland next. I was just going to check. Um, I
Well,
think
fun
Switzerland
fact.
next, and then Denmark,
Okay,
and
because fun fact,
then
I
check.
do have a Team Great Britain. I have two Great Britain shirts and pants that I'm wearing too. But I also have two Team Denmark shirts too. uh, I
Oh,
know, but they don't mean the same. My puppies don't play there anymore.
yeah.
But when I played in Denmark, my line mate Thomas Spelling made Team Denmark for the first time for the men's team, and he gave me his shirts after the tournament. I've kept them forever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I don't know
Yeah. So
anybody on their team
Denmark,
anymore.
Denmark.
Yeah.
No, they're always a solid outfit. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I think we play Switzerland, then Denmark, and obviously we play them. GB play them in August, I believe, in Denmark for the Olympic qualifiers as well. So it's
Oh,
yeah, it's Denmark,
there's more hockey
Japan.
in August for Olympic qualifiers.
Yeah, the final stage of the Olympic
Oh my
qualifiers.
word. So you guys don't have like, so you guys are gonna have to like have a training camp and shit before that too?
I don't think anything's been announced, but yeah, I think it's kind of
You'd have to get
yeah,
ready for it.
yeah, you want to give it your best chance of getting through. So it's Denmark, Norway, and Japan in the last round of the qualifying.
And
So
only
I think
one team makes
mid
it.
over. One team, I believe, go through. But
Well, that'll be some intense hockey too, eh?
exactly, yeah. So obviously we play Denmark and we play Norway in this tournament. So
Man, it's gotta be so cool playing for your nation, eh?
yeah,
You guys got
it's
some sick jerseys too.
yeah, they're nice. They're nice.
Yeah.
They're really cool. Obviously, it's like the Nike jerseys as well. They're different to any other jerseys I've worn before, but they're cool. And obviously, you don't. I've been lucky enough to play for GB on a number of tournaments, and you don't take it for granted. Like one of the proudest moments for me is just being able to go out and play for GB. So, and like you say, like playing against Finland and Canada and some of these top nations, that's kind of like a
A dream come
yeah,
true.
it is, yeah,
Well,
definitely.
it's like I know you guys, and like the handful of you guys that like were growing up around Cardiff, Wales, and now you guys are all doing this together, and it's like this is crazy.
Mm. Yeah, it's yeah, you're in here and you're rubbing shoulders with someone like the best players that play the superstars.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's
It's a
a cool
Disney movie.
experience.
It's a
It's a
Disney
cool,
movie.
yeah. When you look where GB was maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and we were battling against some of the teams that are a little bit further down the world rankings right now, and then see where we're at now, and we're competing, and we're playing like we're supposed to be here, which is how we
Yeah,
should be.
I
And
totally agree.
yeah, so hopefully we stay and we make it kind of year on year kind of a staple and go from there.
So do you think, because I remember the history, because I've been paying attention to my buddies since 2014-15, I'm writing my thing for my MBA in Eli Jenkins, and I'm watching you guys play in, I don't know what country you're in. There weren't a lot of fans in the arena, but it was like the third division down. And then I saw Ben O'Connor get a penalty shot in that game, and he turned around backwards and went between his legs and scored top corner. And I was like, whoa, what is going on here? This is the World Championships, and he's turning around backwards, going between his legs. And do you think he would do that in Pool A if he gets a penalty shot?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't put it. I honestly, I wouldn't put it past him. I
Well,
wouldn't
I
put it
guess it
past
worked,
him.
right?
Yeah, well, you saw that goal against Canada he scored. So
Yeah, still
he's
got it.
he's a skillful player, and I yeah, who knows if he gets a penalty shot, I'd be right there watching
Oh
with
yeah,
anticipation.
I'd be on the edge of my seat if he gets a penalty shot this
Yeah,
tournament.
I know. So I'm sure he'll probably go through his mind, even if he did it or not.
Uh, what type of food are they feed you guys around there? You guys got lunch soon, eh?
Yeah, so we got breakfast, lunch, dinner, all this hotel, and the hotel's really good. Like 7 of the 8 teams are staying here, and yeah, like the foods you can't fault the food.
Seven of the 8 teams are all in the same hotel.
Yeah, it's a big hotel.
Are you guys getting along?
Yeah, I don't see any fights going on. But, no,
When we got to all Ontario's with the kids, the team we were playing first was in the same hotel as us when I got there, and my flip switched. The kids were in the pool with me, and then it was funny, man. I started hockeying the day before the game.
Yeah. No, it's been all right. We're all in our separate areas, probably separate levels and stuff. So no, it's all good. It's obviously a big hotel to be able to put everyone up and stuff, but it's walking distance to the rink as well. So we're in a good situation.
Well, you're gonna have to go out and see some sights, maybe the sex museum.
Yeah. Look, we got some free time over here, so I'm gonna get out and make sure I take in a bit of Prague. I've never been to Czech before, so
It's that's a city, man. Yeah.
Mm.
And it's not like that expensive, you know? There's some nice cities in Europe that are expensive. That one's not really.
No, this is it seems really reasonable, even with obviously the hockey and all the tourism and stuff, like right in the center. But no, it's really
Who
good
are
enough.
you? Who's your line right now? Who are you playing with?
Shudra and Duggan.
Dougie.
Yeah, so I've been playing with Dougie for a few years now in Cardiff. We know each other's games and we get on well. We kill well together. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and Shoots is I played with him in February, and I thought he was great to play with as well. Obviously, we're a role a depth line, and I think we do our job pretty well. Obviously, it's tough against some of these bigger teams to get in, but we're kind of trying to get deep on the forecheck and get some chances. We had one net scramble against Canada and couldn't quite push the goalie into the net enough. No, we were there. So no, things are good, and I like the line. We're obviously know what's needed from us, and
And Dougie's a smart player. He plays a 200-foot game and is always on the right side of the puck and mucks it up.
exactly, yeah, exactly. Like obviously we've been on for a few goals against right now, and that's not something we want to be. We take that personally. So as well, like everyone's been on for goals against right now with losing against Finland and stuff. But yeah, we take that personally. So we're gonna obviously a few bits to figure out in the next few games and try and get some more offense created.
Well, for your shed history is Dougie was the one that came on to meet my original team, the under 11 Canucks. And we asked for Buenos for the boys. And I'm imagining you were playing in that game when the fans came back to the Cardiff Arena and then chucked a whole bunch of chocolate on the ice. That was from me and Dougie talking in the shed with my boys.
Really, I've probably had one or two of those being chucked on, to be honest.
Yeah, no, we were having
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, that's class. That's class.
Oh gosh, it's fun. But so you're you got stuff to do. But we're gonna have to talk again because I had way more stuff to talk to you about. Because there's when you're breaking in with the Devils as a young teenager, like that must have been exciting but difficult too, right?
Yeah, it was. It was like I said, I was young, so it was like 16. I'm still balancing
That's
school.
young, dude, to be playing
Yeah,
professional.
I was playing under 16s. I was playing with the second team that was in the ENL at the time. And I was playing or practicing with the Devils, playing when I had the opportunity to. And then I'm balancing like school. I was in my sixth form. I was doing that, and then I obviously wasn't driving either then. So
So you gotta get rides
I
everywhere.
rely on lifts from Hilly or lifts from my parents, this to school. So yeah, it was a bit of a battle, but that was good. Here he is, Batchy. After talking about him earlier.
Hey, Batchy, you're here. Batchy.
He's uh he's got a good 10.
Batch, you got to come to the shed while you're over there, just like Benny here, okay? We got to milk this thing. We got to milk this udder. I always wanted to go to the World Championships. I'm finally here.
No, but yeah, I'll definitely jump back on and catch up with you guys again. Like you say, you've got some more stuff to talk about, and I'm
Well, you know
like,
what we should do is after your testimonial, we should slip one in and talk about the festivities.
yeah, that'd be good. Absolutely.
And everybody that's listening, you should buy your tickets and be there because it's a day that he's earned and it's a memory for life for all those guys that you bring back. And you guys should just run amok and have a time.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Obviously, got a few things still to sort. Like the jerseys are all done now, so I'm excited to announce that soon. And then yeah, the team's there, so we're obviously there with that. The draft night, we're the night before, so I'm excited to get
Oh,
up and
excited.
running here and get there. It's gonna
Well,
be a good
and you
night.
can't forget about what you're doing right now, right? Because this is as exciting as hockey gets too.
Yeah, yeah,
You,
exactly. I know.
well, enjoy everything you're doing, man, because it's awfully exciting for me to watch from over here. I'm very proud of you guys. You can tell all those punks on your team that I'm proud, and I'll be watching every game I can from over here.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks, sir. Thanks, Wally.
All right,
That's
buddy,
yeah,
and
good.
go get them. I'll be watching, and thanks for making the time again because this is what I mean. I appreciate it so much that guys will make time for me when they're at the World Championships in Prague because there's a lot of things you guys can be doing other than talking to my fat ass.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on and getting up early. Obviously, the time difference is a battle, but no, it's
We're making it work
being
like hockey guys
no,
do,
I
right?
really
You
appreciate
make
it.
it work. Okay, well, go get them, and congrats on the career so far. Because you obviously knew I was a big fan back in 2015, 16 when I was tweeting about it, and I still am. Go Team
Yeah,
GB!
no, that's
And this has been
no. Cheers,
another
Wally.
episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Diesel and Wally.